Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Jinjin's Cosmic. If you didn't happen to be here, perhaps it's time to meet your soul.
Dearest Libra, draw near and let your spirit settle. There is a profound awakening stirring within the cosmic currents, a truth preparing to unfurl itself in the sacred tapestry of your life. How many times, my analytical and harmonizing Libra, have you held the firm belief that you truly understood another soul, that you had charted their emotional landscape, predicted their every reaction, and anticipated their deepest thoughts and sentiments? Prepare your heart. For a veiled aspect, a hidden facet of someone significant is poised to emerge. It is something that has always existed, subtly woven beneath the intricate designs of your life's grand plans, yet deliberately or unknowingly obscured from your perceptive gaze. Before we delve deeper into these revelations, I invite you, if you feel the stirring of recognition, to anchor this truth within your being. Go to the comments below even now and declare, "My intuition guides me." Let this be our sacred affirmation, a promise to honor the whispers of your inner wisdom as we journey together. Are you truly ready, beloved Libra, to encounter a truth so potent it might redefine your very understanding of an important individual in your world? In the unfolding days, you will come to realize that this revelation is far from a minor detail. It is a seismic shift. It could manifest as a candid confession, an unforeseen gesture that speaks volumes, or perhaps even a seemingly innocuous slip of the tongue that lays bare the authentic essence of this person. The initial impact may indeed disorient your carefully constructed certainties, but know this: it will also serve as a profound liberation, freeing you from the gilded cages of illusion that have subtly, yet firmly, held you captive. Consider this, my truth-seeking Libra. What if the reality you have diligently believed, the narrative you have so carefully embraced, was merely a fragmented reflection of the whole truth? You believed you knew this person intimately, did you not? You were convinced you had meticulously cataloged every nuance of their reactions, every shift in their expression, every thread of their behavioral patterns. You trusted that your innate capacity to discern the unspoken, to read between the lines, granted you an unassailable mastery over the subtle dynamics of your connection. Yet, while your noble spirit was earnestly engaged in crafting meticulous plans, carefully arranging the constellations of your life around this relationship, and nurturing heartfelt expectations for a shared future, this individual was, with cunning precision, executing an entirely divergent agenda right beneath the very essence of your awareness. Yes, it is true. Beneath your most elaborate and well-intentioned plans, beneath your profound and inherent yearning for balance and harmony in all things, another soul was quietly, systematically, pursuing an intention you could scarcely have conceived. And here, my dear Libra, lies a particularly painful truth. You, in your innate generosity and openness, inadvertently provided every piece of information this person required to weave their intricate web of deception. Every vulnerability you bravely unveiled, every fear you courageously confessed, every cherished dream you trustingly revealed, each was meticulously catalogued, studied, and subtly weaponized against you in ways you are only now beginning to fathom. There is indeed someone in your life at this very moment who possesses a far deeper, more strategic understanding of you than you have ever held of them. They have approached your innermost patterns with the methodical precision of a scientist observing an experiment. They possess an almost uncanny knowledge of precisely what words to utter to soothe your suspicions when your intuition begins to stir. They understand how to artfully redirect your attention when you venture to pose a probing question that edges too close to the truth. They know precisely which emotional buttons to press to induce a wave of guilt when you, with nascent courage, Dare to challenge something that simply does not align with your inner compass. And you, my dear Libra, remain blissfully, or perhaps painfully, unaware of their true motivations, their authentic desires, the unseen forces that truly drive their actions. You are not privy to the clandestine conversations they hold about you in your absence. You cannot genuinely comprehend the depth of their true sentiments regarding the intimate moments you have shared. You do not fully grasp the actual role you occupy within the carefully constructed narrative of their life. And here is the revelation that may pierce your gentle heart most deeply. It is, in all likelihood, not the role you have so lovingly envisioned for yourself. Have you ever, Libra, with your keen powers of observation, noticed how this person seems to possess an immediate, prepackaged response for every inquiry? How they rarely appear genuinely surprised by your actions or words? How they consistently seem to be several steps ahead in the intricate dance of your conversations? This, my beloved, is not necessarily a testament to their superior intellect or their profound intuition. It is, rather, a stark indicator that they are engaged in an entirely different game than you. While your noble heart is striving to construct something authentic, genuine, and enduring, they are meticulously executing a predefined strategy. And this strategy has proven remarkably effective precisely because they discerned a fundamental truth about you, a truth you may not have even fully recognized within yourself: your fervent, almost desperate need to believe in the inherent goodness of others, to such an extent that you are capable of overlooking, or even actively dismissing, glaring evidence that someone is not who they meticulously pretend to be. Your inherently balanced Libra mind instinctively seeks to construct rationalizations for bewildering behaviors, to invent justifications for patent inconsistencies, and to craft excuses for overt red flags that wave before your eyes. This individual, with shrewd calculation, uncovered that you would go to extraordinary lengths to preserve a fragile peace, even if it meant consciously deceiving yourself about the true nature of unfolding events. And this inherent trait, this beautiful yet vulnerable aspect of your being, they have exploited to its absolute limits. Every single instance when your intuition, that sacred inner voice, screamed that something was amiss, you, in your unwavering quest for harmony, found a way to quell its protests. Every time the unvarnished facts refused to align with their carefully constructed narrative, you painstakingly twisted and reshaped them until they seemed to fit the desired illusion. You have, in essence, become an unwitting accomplice in your own self-deception. And this, my dear Libra, will be the most bitter pill to swallow when the truth finally bursts forth. The profound realization of how actively, how willingly, you collaborated in the intricate process of being misled. How many golden opportunities have you truly had to perceive the unvarnished reality, but consciously or unconsciously chose to avert your gaze because the truth presented too great an inconvenience to your carefully laid plans, to your cherished vision of harmony? For those celestial Libras born between September 23rd and October 2nd, this individual, who has so artfully concealed a crucial aspect of themselves, is likely someone with whom you have woven intimate plans, perhaps the very fabric of marriage, a shared home, significant investments, or profoundly important projects. The blueprints you drafted together were, to your sincere heart, undeniably real, but to them, these were merely components within a grander, more self-serving scenario. For those born under the influence of Libra between October 3rd and 13th, the impending revelation may involve a figure from your deeply idealized family unit or your most cherished inner circle, someone whose approval has, perhaps subtly yet consistently, shaped your decisions and guided your path. And for the Libras whose journey began between October 14th and 22nd, the mask is destined to fall from someone you once elevated to a pedestal. An individual you revered as a beacon of inspiration or a shining example to emulate. But regardless of the specific relationship, my dear one, the underlying pattern remains strikingly consistent. While your heart was genuinely invested in planning a future that truly embraced this person, they were simultaneously, and with detached calculation, strategizing how to extract the maximum benefit from you before gracefully or ungraciously moving on. Your carefully constructed plans were, tragically, built upon shifting sands, for they rested entirely upon a fabricated version of this person that, in authentic reality, never truly existed. The revelation now approaching will unveil a poignant truth. You were, in essence, a supporting character in the unfolding drama of your own life story. While you envisioned yourself as a co-director, an equal partner in crafting the intricate script of your relationship, you were, in actuality, merely performing a role, following a script meticulously penned by this individual specifically for you. Your every anticipated move was predicted. Your every emotional reaction was pre-calculated. Your every sentiment was factored in as a mere variable within their intricate equation. And perhaps most profoundly devastating, they did not engage in this intricate dance out of pure, unadulterated malice. No, my dear Libra, they engaged in this because, regrettably, it proved effective. Because souls like yours, kind, empathetic, and yearning for balance, are, in the eyes of predatory individuals, perfect targets for this insidious form of manipulation. Your inherent kindness, your deep-seated need for harmony, your natural inclination to perceive the best in every soul, all of these beautiful qualities which define your luminous spirit, render you, in their strategic view, entirely predictable. And those who seek to exploit others possess an uncanny mastery of how to leverage predictability to their distinct advantage. Libra, I sense your gentle mind, even now, resisting these truths, attempting to erect protective barriers. It is, perhaps, searching for intricate justifications, for reasons why these stark realities might not apply to your unique circumstances. It is likely recalling tender moments when this person genuinely appeared caring or authentically vulnerable with you. It is, no doubt, attempting to argue that someone who knows you so intimately, and ostensibly treats you with such warmth, could not possibly weaponize that very closeness against you. But I implore you, pause for a sacred moment. Breathe deeply and ask your courageous heart this pivotal question. How does this person truly react when you are not emotionally available to them? What transpires when you yourself are embroiled in your own challenges, unable to lavish upon them the attention and emotional sustenance they have grown accustomed to receiving? How does this individual genuinely behave when you are in authentic need of profound, reciprocal support, beyond mere validation or agreeable companionship? If you allow yourself the profound grace of honesty, you will likely discern that in these critical moments, the carefully constructed mask begins to fray, to slip, even if imperceptibly. The outwardly caring and understanding persona may perhaps transform into one of chilling coldness, abrupt impatience, or even subtle cruelty. The seemingly unwavering support they offered when your spirit was vibrant and whole mysteriously evaporates when you genuinely require its solace. You may find they possess an uncanny, almost magical ability to transmute your personal challenges into their own, resulting in you, the one in need, ultimately comforting them rather than receiving the solace you so desperately sought. These fleeting instances of the mask's slippage, these brief glimpses behind the curtain, were in truth your sacred opportunities to behold their authentic self. Yet, in your unwavering devotion to harmony, you invariably interpreted them as mere moments of stress, unfortunate misunderstandings, or transient communication glitches. For to admit that these moments unveiled the true character of this person would necessitate the painful acknowledgement that you were, in essence, living a carefully constructed fabrication, a truth deemed utterly unacceptable to your deep-seated need for stability, for peace, for an unbroken sense of equilibrium. The truth that is now poised to emerge, my dear Libra, will not arrive as a singular, cataclysmic, dramatic revelation. Instead, it will unfold as a meticulous sequence of smaller, yet deeply resonant, discoveries, each connecting to form a comprehensive and utterly compelling picture. It will be akin to the slow, deliberate assembly of a complex puzzle, where each newly placed piece illuminates a greater segment of the overarching image. And that image, my beloved, will be starkly, breathtakingly different from anything you had ever dared to anticipate. You might, for instance, uncover clandestine conversations this person held about you with others, conversations where they casually ridiculed aspects you considered profoundly special and uniquely shared between you. You might discover that the future plans they so enthusiastically made with you were, in chilling reality, identical to the plans they had simultaneously cultivated with multiple other individuals in their life. You might find that intimate, vulnerable information you trustingly shared was deftly repurposed, used as a subtle tool to manipulate other situations or other people for their own gain. Or perhaps the revelation will spring forth from an external source, someone who, in their profound care for you, finally decides to breach the wall of silence to reveal what this person truly articulates when your presence is absent. Someone who can no longer bear witness to your gentle deception and chooses to shatter the unspoken code that has so long protected this elaborate charade. Someone who intimately knows the unvarnished side of this individual and is utterly astounded by their remarkable ability to convince you of an entirely fabricated persona. Regardless of the precise channel through which this truth ultimately reaches you, its impact will be undeniably profound, even devastating. Not merely because you will finally perceive who this person authentically is, but because you will be compelled to confront the very person you yourself have become in your valiant, yet ultimately self-sacrificing efforts to sustain this illusion. You will be forced to gaze upon all the instances when you subtly, or not so subtly, betrayed your own deep intuition. All the countless times you consciously opted to embrace the comforting lie rather than the inconvenient, yet ultimately liberating, truth. You will, with a heavy heart, be forced to concede that a part of you, deep down, always sensed that something was fundamentally amiss. But you were so consumed by the fear of solitude, the dread of rejection, the profound terror of losing the perceived stability this relationship ostensibly offered, that you deliberately chose to reside in a state of denial, rather than confront the daunting possibility of a life without that specific individual. And this, my dear Libra, will emerge as the most exquisitely painful revelation of all, the soul-wrenching understanding that you knowingly or unknowingly betrayed your own sacred self in order to retain someone in your life who never, not truly, held the same authentic intentions as you. Libra, the veiled aspect this person is poised to reveal extends far beyond mere hidden traits or superficial behaviors. It speaks to an entirely divergent philosophy, a fundamentally different way of perceiving both themselves and the very essence of relationships in general. While your generous spirit viewed the relationship as a genuine partnership, a symbiotic dance where two souls mutually grow, uplift, and support one another, they conversely perceived it as a transaction, a cold, calculated exchange where they needed to invest the absolute minimum required to reap the maximum possible return, while you, with open heart, shared genuine vulnerabilities in the earnest hope of forging authentic intimacy. They, with strategic detachment, meticulously gathered information that could be shrewdly utilized to gain greater control over you. While you meticulously crafted plans with the mutual well-being of both parties deeply ingrained in your considerations, they, with unwavering self-interest, formulated plans solely for their own exclusive benefit. The entire scaffolding of your relationship, my dear Libra, was in chilling reality constructed upon entirely disparate premises you were, with calculated precision, kept blissfully unaware of. And here, perhaps, is the truth that will most profoundly shock your empathetic soul. This fundamental divergence in intentions was not something that gradually materialized over the passage of time. No, my dear, it was intrinsically present from the very inaugural moment. The captivating version of this person you encountered, the persona you found yourself so undeniably drawn to, was meticulously engineered specifically to allure you. It was a deliberate, artfully constructed facade, meticulously tested, refined, and perfected until it became utterly irresistible to a soul possessing your unique psychological and emotional profile. The authentic individual, the real person beneath this elaborate fabrication, was always lurking in the shadows, quietly observing your reactions, diligently learning your inherent patterns, and with increasing precision, uncovering your subtle vulnerabilities. And the more openly you revealed your beautiful self, the more invaluable information they gathered, meticulously refining their intricate deception. Your innate honesty was, tragically, transmuted into a strategic vulnerability. Your trusting nature was artfully twisted into an exploited naivete. Your profound capacity for love was subtly manipulated into a carefully cultivated dependence. In the days that swiftly approach, you will begin to perceive the unmistakable signs that this elaborate mask is on the verge of slipping entirely, revealing the unvarnished truth beneath. This individual may exhibit increasing impatience with the constant, demanding effort required to maintain their facade. They might make small yet profoundly revealing slip-ups in their carefully constructed narrative. They may even begin to subtly test the boundaries, probing just how far they can push your patience and understanding without eliciting a decisive reaction from you. Or perhaps they have already successfully extracted everything they desired from you and are now in the covert process of preparing their departure. In this scenario, you may begin to detect a subtle yet discernible emotional distancing, a creeping coldness, and a growing impatience with the very qualities they once so skillfully feigned to find charming about your essence. It may even appear as if they are actively seeking out disagreements, deliberately fabricating problems where none existed before, as if to justify an impending separation. Pay exceptionally close attention to how they respond when you, with genuine optimism, bring up future plans you have meticulously woven together. If they pointedly evade the conversation, deftly change the subject, or suddenly appear noticeably less enthusiastic about aspirations that once seemed to ignite their passion, it could be a profound indicator that they possess knowledge you do not. That the plans which hold such vivid reality for your heart were to them never more than fleeting illusions. Furthermore, observe their conduct with meticulous care when you find yourselves in social settings. Is there a palpable disparity between their demeanor when you are in private company and their behavior when others are present? Do they appear to be consciously performing, putting on an act when an audience is within earshot, Or even more disturbingly, do they seem more genuinely authentic, more unburdened with other people than they ever appear to be with you? Libra, when the full, unvarnished disclosure finally unfolds, you will undoubtedly navigate through several distinct and profoundly affecting emotional phases. Initially, there will be the powerful surge of denial. Your mind, in its protective instincts, will desperately strive to conjure alternative explanations, to minimize the unsettling nature of what you have unearthed, and to valiantly attempt to preserve the cherished version of reality in which you have invested such a monumental amount of emotional energy. Then will come the fierce, righteous wave of anger directed at them for their calculated deception, but perhaps even more intensely. Anger at yourself for having permitted this to transpire. You will likely feel a profound sense of foolishness, of naivete, perhaps even of a poignant pathos. You will question how a soul who considers themselves intelligent and intuitive could have been so thoroughly, so completely, and for so extended a period misled. Following this, a profound sadness will descend, not merely for the undeniable loss of the relationship as you perceived it, but for the shattering of everything you ardently believed that relationship embodied, for the beautiful plans that will now remain eternally unfulfilled, for the future you so lovingly constructed within your mind, a future that in stark reality possessed no genuine foundation, for the idealized person you wholeheartedly believed them to be, a person you now agonizingly realize never truly existed. However, my resilient Libra, after these initial tumultuous phases, something entirely unexpected will begin to gently emerge, a profound sense of relief, a deep, almost ineffable liberation, as if an immense weight, when you were scarcely aware of carrying, has been miraculously lifted from your shoulders. It will feel as though you can finally breathe freely, deeply, authentically, for the first time in an immeasurable span of time. This powerful relief stems from the release of the constant, exhausting tension of relentlessly striving to reconcile bewildering inconsistencies. It arises from the blessed freedom of no longer needing to constantly rationalize behaviors that, deep down, never truly made any logical or emotional sense. It emanates from the profound liberation of no longer needing to feign contentment with meager emotional crumbs, but rather, from finally being able to unreservedly trust your own sacred intuition, instead of perpetually warring against its undeniable truths. And hand in hand with this profound relief, an exquisite clarity will dawn. You will begin to perceive intricate patterns that were previously obscured, deliberately veiled by your unwavering need to sustain the illusion. You will, with startling insight, comprehend why certain situations invariably left you feeling disquieted, even when you could not precisely articulate the underlying reason. You will realize with profound certainty that your intuition was functioning flawlessly all along. You simply, and perhaps understandably, chose to silence its potent whispers. With this newfound clarity will also arrive an elevated stratum of self-awareness. You will begin to comprehend aspects of your own being that were previously veiled. You will recognize recurring patterns within your relationships that are now crying out for transformation. You will identify deeply rooted emotional needs that have, for far too long, been neglected. You will uncover dormant inner strengths you never even realized you possessed. The act of discovering this person's hidden side will function as a powerful, unforgiving mirror, not only revealing who they truly are, but with equal intensity, illuminating aspects of yourself that are now demanding to be brought into the purifying light of awareness. It will unequivocally show you where you have subtly betrayed your own sacred self. where you have permitted yourself to be diminished, where you have acquiesced to receiving far less than you truly deserve. And perhaps the most empowering revelation of all, you will grasp that you possess far greater strength, far deeper resilience than you ever dared to imagine. That you are indeed capable of confronting difficult truths, that you can and will survive the profound loss of relationships that once seemed utterly indispensable. That you possess the inherent power to meticulously rebuild your life upon foundations that are immeasurably more solid, more honest, and more authentically aligned with your true self. Libra, when this profound transformation finally occurs, when the mask irrevocably falls away and you behold who this person authentically is, remember this fundamental truth. This entire experience, however profoundly painful it may initially feel, is in its deepest essence a sacred gift. It represents an unparalleled opportunity to liberate yourself from a toxic dynamic that has been insidiously draining your precious energy and severely limiting your boundless potential for growth. It is a golden chance to learn with unwavering conviction to trust your own innate perception, even when that perception starkly contradicts what you ardently wish to believe. It is an extraordinary opportunity to establish new, unshakable standards for all future relationships, standards firmly anchored in mutual authenticity rather than in the ephemeral illusion of false harmony. Most crucially, my dear Libra, it is the profound, liberating discovery that you possess the inherent capacity to thrive, to flourish, to live fully without the need for relationships that demand you diminish your luminous self to accommodate another. That you are entirely capable of forging genuine, deeply resonant connections with individuals who truly value you for the exquisite essence of who you are, rather than for how they can exploit you for their own self-serving purposes. The person who has been operating under the very plans you have so lovingly created will, in the inevitable unfolding of time, ultimately depart from your life, whether by your courageous choice or by their own predetermined course. But what you will gain, what you will learn about your own indomitable spirit through this profound, albeit challenging, experience will remain with you forever. It will serve as an unyielding shield, protecting you from similar draining situations in all your future endeavors. It will render you immeasurably wiser, undeniably stronger, and more deeply, intimately connected to your own undeniable truth. And one day, when you gaze back upon this transformative period from a place of serenity and clarity, you will, with profound understanding, realize that this initially painful revelation was, in fact, the glorious genesis of your real, authentic life. It was the pivotal moment you decisively ceased accepting edited, diluted versions of reality and began, with courage and conviction, to demand total, unvarnished truth in every single one of your relationships. It was the sacred turning point where you unequivocally chose your own authenticity over the seductive siren song of false harmonies. Therefore, my beloved Libra, do not allow your heart to fear what is about to be unveiled. Even if the initial pain is acute, remember that the truth, in its divine essence, never descends to destroy, but rather to profoundly liberate. You are inherently deserving of transparent relationships, of clear, unencumbered paths, and of companions whose spirits are genuinely aligned with your highest evolution. This impending revelation may indeed shock you to your core, but it will also, with undeniable power, open your eyes, empowering you to more wisely and discerningly choose who truly merits the privilege of walking alongside you on your sacred journey. Would you not rather reside in the empowering embrace of truth than in the comfortable yet ultimately confining illusions of the past? This revelation, my dear, will not linger in the shadows. It is approaching with an inexorable momentum, poised to manifest swiftly and perhaps unexpectedly. It could be encapsulated in a single, piercing glance, a solitary, resonating word, or even a seemingly unremarkable action, yet one that carries within its very core a silent, undeniable confession. Remain vigilant, for after this profound unveiling, nothing in your world will ever again feel precisely the same. And if life were, in this very moment, offering you this singular, ultimate chance to truly behold the truth, would you possess the unyielding courage to gaze upon it without succumbing to fear? Libra, prepare your beautiful self. The universe, in its boundless wisdom, is preparing to gently yet firmly remove the blindfold from your eyes. The person you believed you knew with such certainty will, in their actions, reveal a side of themselves previously obscured, and this unvarnished truth will, with divine grace, restore to you the profound power of choice. If this message has resonated deeply within the chambers of your heart, if you have recognized undeniable signs or unsettling patterns within the intricate tapestry of your own life, I implore you, do not, under any circumstances, ignore that powerful recognition. Your sacred intuition, that inner compass, is in this very moment striving to protect you. Trust it. Share it with us, not with specific, identifying details, but with the raw, visceral sensations and profound insights that are now emerging within your consciousness. Your authentic experiences, shared in this sacred space, may very well serve to awaken others to similar insidious patterns, igniting a ripple of self-awareness across our collective soul family. Subscribe to this channel, dear one, for when this profound revelation inevitably unfolds in your own life, you will undoubtedly require unwavering guidance on how to tenderly process this discovery, how to meticulously rebuild your shattered trust in the realm of relationships, and how to courageously establish healthier, non-negotiable boundaries that honor your divine worth. Turn on your notifications, my beloved, to ensure you receive continuous support and profound wisdom during this monumental transformation. The truth is drawing ever closer. What has been subtly concealed beneath the surface of your most cherished plans is on the precipice of being fully exposed. And when it does, you will, with profound clarity, discover that the most pivotal revelation of all is not merely about who this other person truly is, but far more significantly, about who you can irrevocably become when you finally, definitively, cease settling for anything less than you profoundly deserve. Your real, authentic, brilliantly illuminated life is patiently waiting, poised on the other side of this profound discovery.